शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय योग योग योगेश्वराय भूत भूत भूतेश्वराय काल काल कालेश्वराय शिव शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय योग योग योगेश्वराय भूत भूत भूतेश्वराय काल काल कालेश्वराय शिव शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय योग योग योगेश्वराय भूत भूत भूतेश्वराय काल काल कालेश्वराय शिव शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय योग योग योगेश्वराय भूत भूत भूतेश्वराय काल काल कालेश्वराय शिव शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय
चला चली का खेला, 2 दिन का है जुगमा मेला। सब चला चली का खेला, 2 दिन का है जुगमा मेला। सब चला चली का खेला। गठड़ी बांधस धारे, कोई खड़ा तैयार अकेला, सब चला चली का खेला। 2 दिन का है जुगमा मेला, सब चला चली का खेला। घर मात पिता सब भाई, घर मात पिता सब भाई, तेरे अंत सुहा कोई नाही। उड़ जाएगा हंस अकेला, सब चला चली का खेला। उड़ जाएगा हंस अकेला, सब चला चली का खेला। उड़ जाएगा हंस अकेला, सब चला चली का खेला।
पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं, पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम्। पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणम्, पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम्। इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे, इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे, कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे। कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे। Springtime, flowers and fruits in the trees. Of course, birds are very happy, you can see that. One is because there is so much fruit and luxuriant growth of greenery. Another is all human beings under lockdown. Double celebration they're all having. You saw the image going around in the ashram. On our rooftops, the peacocks are dancing even when the peahens are not around. Just out of sheer joy, absence of human beings, they're just dancing. So, let me read a poem to you. It's called Dirty Little Logic. As flowers become fruits with a touch of magic spring, as flowers become fruits with a touch of magic spring, green leaves did become flowers, brown branches became leaves, knotted roots became a luxuriant tree exuding the very plasma of life. All this from the soil that some call dirt. Is this a dirty life or the magic of creation? You shall know as per your incline. All this from the soil that some call dirt. Is this a dirty life or the magic of creation? You shall know as per your incline. Inclined to pay attention to the magic of creation or engrossed in your own dirty little logic. It's called lock-up. Up, not down. Do you need to be locked down, or do you possess the needed sense to sanitize, distance and disinfect? Do you need to be locked down, or do you possess the needed sense to sanitize, distance and disinfect? Are you in appreciation of those who strive for you? Are you in appreciation for those who strive for you, or are you a lout with a vulgar sense of entitlements, or a religious nut who can only live well in a paradise elsewhere? If you have no sensitivity to appreciate the dedication, commitment and selflessness with which doctors, nurses, police and even most politicians are striving to save your life and mine, what you need is not lock down, lock up. So lock down till May 3rd, after that lock up. Well, there are good news first or bad news? The good news is, certain nations which were majorly hit, like Italy and Spain, sort of brought it under control, but with lockdown. When the lockdown is relaxed, what'll happen, that's another matter. But right now, the number of deaths have come down considerably, number of new infections have come down. Even in India, it's taking a downward trend. Though the fatalities have crossed 500 in India, the curve is slowly dipping. And hotspots where infections were either being spread by ignorance or intent have been all barricaded and separated, so under control. In those places, a certain number of deaths have happened, so they are also getting disciplined a little bit. So on the whole, it is slowly dipping, which is a very good sign. but tomorrow is 20th, tomorrow midnight onwards, some relaxation will happen for certain types of economic activity. Of course, agriculture and a few other vital industries which are needed to keep the society going. After this little bit of relaxation, we must see how the curve will move. And 3rd of May is not very far away because the virus has shown certain other qualities that it possesses, which initially we did not realize. We thought it is only attacking the respiratory system, so we tried to find simple solutions for that. But now it is seen that it is damaging the what is called as T cells or the lymphocytes, which are the main forces within our bodies to fight the virus. They're compromising them, almost like how the HIV virus does. That means it's destroying the immune system at a certain level, maybe not at the same scale as HIV, but in a similar fashion. So this new sense of knowing about the virus is causing much concern because our only answer to this was to boost the immune system. Now, we still don't have a vaccine, that's far away as far as we can see right now. The only thing was stronger immune system, but it is attacking the core of our immune system and neutralizing it. The T cells or the or the lymphocytes kind of do not know that they must fight the virus because the virus goes and neutralizes them. This is a cause of much concern. I think it's worrying the scientists quite a bit because simply treating it as a respiratory problem is not going to work because it's attacking another more fundamental dimension within our human system. So, of course, there are people that I mentioned in the lock-up poem. There are people who are protesting. In United States, a few protests are happening against the lockdown, though it's not a complete lockdown like India. In India also, there are a few people here and there breaking the lockdown and, doing irresponsible things. Today, the Prime Minister has made an appeal for all the youth in the nation to take the leadership and see that lockdown is successful, because by making it a partial success, it's just waste of time, energy and economic damage to the nation. Only if it's a complete success, then it's worthwhile locking down. I lock down but you don't lock down, this is no use. We can as well, both of us go on the street and take our chance, which one of us is going to die first. But women have an advantage. The virus is largely killing men. This is the good news I was about to give you. Because generally, women have better regulated immune systems because body is equipped to handle pregnancy. When the pregnancy happens, it is like a external or a foreign body within the woman's system, so the immune system is always at a more regulated condition. So, there are no numbers coming out right now, but generally people are saying it is largely men who are dying. Gender bias, even with the virus. Anyway, we are glad at least women will be safe. So, many things are taking shape, but the two things of great concern is they are not limiting themselves to the respiratory system. Kidney and liver damages have been noticed in some patients. We do not know if it's an isolated case or this could be a trend. And something of more concern is it is behaving like HIV virus, that it's attacking the immune system itself. Well, as most of you know by now, the real problem with this virus, though its fatality rates are not as high as SARS or MERS or even the Spanish flu of the past, the problem is asymptomatic transmission. There are many people who are infected, up to 3 weeks they have not shown any symptoms, but they are spreading. So that is the real challenge with this particular virus. So, all said and done, anyway, in a couple of weeks, economic activity will be back. But the important thing is, even if government relaxes the lockdown, people must follow their own personal lockdown. Only do what is really necessary and keep distance, and whatever the respiratory etiquette that people have become conscious of, let's keep this not for lockdown period, for life, and sanitizing ourselves in such a way that we don't bring a second wave of infections. It is also feared in colder countries where temperatures go below 7 degrees, probably by October end or so. It is… some scientists are estimating that a second massive wave will come at that time, because winter is a time when people are naturally more susceptible to infections, and a much bigger wave may happen then. Having said all this, well, a human being is a resilient creature. We'll figure out something. Before that, we'll find a way. Till then, everybody must keep distance, and it's very, very important for your life, for your well-being and the well-being of others. You may think, I'm very strong, or you may think, I'm willing to die, because people are making such statements, I'm saying. Somebody says, I don't care, I'm willing to die, I have to go out and do what I have to do. You may be willing to die, but you need to understand, you are a big problem, both alive and dead. Yes. If you just fall dead on the street, dead bodies can infect hundreds of people. So both alive and dead you are a problem. Please contain yourself and see that you are not a threat to everybody else. Because this sense of pride and entitlement is very strong in people, a whole lot of people. Maybe that's one reason why more men are dying. Danger means generally women step back very easily. A man cannot step back, he has to step forward when there is danger. That's his natural instinct. This happened, an American man was staying in a London hotel, and another man came from Glasgow to meet him. And he asked him, when they met, he asked him, from which country do you come from? The American said, from the greatest nation in the world. So this man from Glasgow said, me too, but you don't sound Scottish at all. So, these entitlements will infringe and cause much damage. This is not a time to be macho. This is not a macho time, this is a virus time. Step back, it's very, very important. There's no heroics with this. The heroics is in saving people's lives, the heroics is in protecting other people, the heroics is what I want to do I will not do right now for the sake of everybody else. This is heroics. Please.
This question is from Rachel. Sadhguru, you are always making fun of the religions that promise us heaven, but you have also promised this is the last lifetime for all those who have been with you for a moment. How are these two things different?
This is persisting, eh? Between heaven and what I said? Heaven means heaven, paradise, whatever else they call it, Swarga. What it means is, in some places there is very good food, in some places rivers of wine flow, in some places other kinds of problems are there. This happened in a very special state in United States of America called Alabama. And Sunday morning, the Sunday school teacher was going full fire. Unfortunately, the audience were not like you, all tiny tots. Catch them young policy. Going in full fire in his rhetoric, he stopped and asked, "What do you have to do to go to heaven?" Little Mary, who always sits in the front row, stood up and said, "If I scrub the church floor every Sunday morning, I will go to heaven." Absolutely. Another little girl stood up and said, "If I share my pocket money with a less privileged friend of mine, I will go to heaven." Correct. Another little boy stood up and said, "If I help those who are in need, I will go to heaven." Correct. Little Tommy stood up and said, "You gotta die first." Well, that's a qualification, you got to die first. Once you die, first you must know, because, our death book is titled as a book for all those who shall die, only for them. And most of you have realized you're all the dying sort. Not now, I don't want you to die of virus, at your own time. So you're all dying sort, you must know what is in heaven. You don't know. Well, in the Hindu heaven, food is very good. If you are a foodie, that's a place to go. They'll give you there is a vessel, it's an Akshay Patra. That is, you can eat as much as you want, it never gets empty, always it's full. So if you are a foodie, Hindu heaven is the best place for you to go. If you go to another place, there will be those white-gowned ladies floating in the clouds. If you like that kind of ambience, you go there. Their food is not good, rye bread and water. If you go to another place, you will encounter virgin problems. But to go to heaven, first you have to die. When you die, Mother Earth claims back your body one way or the other. So you went to heaven without your body. When you don't have a body, what do you do with good food and virgins? What is there to do? No wonder the vessel is always full and they always remain virgins. If you go to the dining hall without a body, food will be like that only. So, if you look at all the heavens in the world little carefully, you will see these heavens were made up in the minds of perverted men. Not even women didn't participate in the making of these heavens. Looks like that very clearly. Because you're only a thing, utility. You're not… you don't have a seat in heaven, I want you to understand, the ladies. That's why the virus is also not touching you. So, I did not offer heaven to anybody. If you understand, you as a life, you as a person, let's look at it as a person. You as a person was made with information, with food, material. If we take out all the imprints that you have, if we take out all the memory out of you, I am talking about conscious memory, unconscious memory, articulate memory, inarticulate memory, karmic memory, genetic memory, evolutionary memory, everything. We took out all the memory out of you. Do you believe you will have a form? Only because of all this memory functioning within you, you have taken this form, you think you are a person. You're just a certain amount of very complex software, in a way. Right now, you should understand this, now they're building robotic human beings. See, that also, the first robotic human beings they create are women. Because you've been biased against in heaven, we're trying to make up here. So, they're beginning to have their own characteristics. They have their own character, a personality of their own. Because software is getting more and more complex, now slowly a personality is evolving. That's all that's happened with you. A very complex software, so you have a persona. So if we undo this software, you as a person will cease to exist. So it's up to you to see whether this is a reward or a threat, but it's neither. Because with a certain amount of a bubble that you created of information and material, you trapped a certain amount of life and it goes on for a period of time. At some point it has to dismantle itself. If you… it is like a fruit. Once it is ripe, it'll fall. So we are only talking about ripening the life quickly. You want to ripen slowly, no problem. But before you get ripe enough, parrots, you hear them, they may eat you up. Some local boy will throw a stone at you and you're down. Before you get ripe, so many things can happen to you. So what a wise one will do is, once he realizes there is a way to ripen quickly, he will start moving that way as quickly as possible. I only said, I will ripen you in such a way that naturally the fruit will fall. I didn't tell you I will throw you up into heaven. And I know if I give you a vessel which is full of food all the time, maybe limitless expansion will happen. That is not a good vessel. These vessels were imagined during times of famine and drought, when people had nothing to eat. What would they dream of? A vessel in their home which is always empty, with some grace, if this vessel becomes in such a way that it'll always be full. Akshaya. This is the dream of a hungry man. This is the dream of a man whose family is starving to death. But fortunately, that phase of life is gone. It's time you dream of something little better. It is time you dream of something little better. And the other dreams I don't want to go into, it'll get bad. So, I am talking about ripening you and dismantling the persona so that life just floats around as life in its full magnificence and beauty, not as a constipated person. A person is a constipated life, I want you to understand. However great a personality you are, personality is a limited existence. Once you're here as a person, it is you versus the universe. Whether you become conscious of it or not, it is you versus the universe all the time. So if you have seen enough of it, then you want to ripen quickly. I said, I can help you to ripen quickly and fall down, not fly up. This may look like a threat, oh, so Sadhguru is going to make us fall down. This is not my desire. That is how everything falls on this planet. You know, Isaac Newton told you, everything falls down only on this planet. There are other places, if you throw something, it keeps going up. But those places you are not fit to live. Where you are fit to live, if you drop something, it'll fall down and it's good place. Down is not a bad place. Up means getting lost, down means you found your earth, the most friendly planet for you. Down means you can fall down and, you know, the mango wants to fall down. It is not thinking of how you will enjoy the mango, it is thinking of falling down. And it's come with sufficient manure which you think is a fruit. And it wants to come up, another young mango tree wants to grow out of that. That's its desire. It's made sweet so that animals and you also can carry it far and throw the seed there. Otherwise, if all the seeds fall under the tree shade, what to do? It is hoping that you won't eat the seed. This is the wish of the mango tree, I'm just expressing because I'm in love with them. The mango tree is wishing that you will eat the fruit and have enough gratitude to plant the seed somewhere. That's its wish. But most human beings don't know mangoes come from a tree, they think it's come from a shop counter. So they're eating it and throwing it in the bin. No, the mango tree is just hoping, out of 1,000 fruits that it produced, at least 100 will get planted, at least 10, 15, 20 in a season will become real trees. It's hoping. Please don't disappoint the mango trees and don't disappoint me by going to heaven because it doesn't look like a good place at all to me. From whatever descriptions I have seen in different cultures, the description of heaven is not attractive at all. I see the Isha Yoga Center is much better than the descriptions that they have made. Here the food vessels get empty the moment we've eaten.
The next question is from Archana. Namaskaram Sadhguru. Yesterday you were talking about devotion and belief. My question is, thought and emotion are connected and both are created by me. So one who is devoted may also have thoughts towards his object of devotion. And one who believes in something may have strong emotion towards that. So why is that a believer is less than a devotee?
See, this part of the country particularly, almost the entire country, but particularly this part of the country, now a few things have changed, otherwise, anywhere you go across southern India, south of Deccan Plateau, wherever you go, hundreds and hundreds, why hundred? Thousands and thousands of Shiva temples. Devotees of Shiva, they spend their lives, everything, on just building one temple. Every king had to build one temple. Every family which is of some worth, they want to build a temple, putting all their money into it. If you look at the elaborateness with which they have built, you can understand they should have spent their entire everything they had. They themselves lived in small homes, but they built magnificent temples. Because this is devotion towards whom? Towards Shiva. Well, Shiva is a destroyer. Everywhere it is clearly said, he is not going to lift his little finger for you. But people built temples and temples for him, spending all their life's earnings on him. A man who is not going to give you anything. And not only that, he's always looking at you like he's going to destroy you. You know that incident where the seven sages, the Saptarishis, are after decades of studying and learning and experiencing with him, he says, you go out into different lands across the world, you must go and make people get acquainted with this science, the yogic science, 112 different ways. So they're all prepared, they don't want to go, but they don't want to leave him and go. But he's saying they must go, so they're leaving. So they say, you're sending us into strange lands. We don't know what kind of people we will meet. You must understand it's not 21st century, where you know what sort of people live in every corner of this world. In every continent, every little place, what sort of people live there, you know in some way. At that time, they don't even know in another part of the world whether there are human beings or giants or devils or who is there, nobody knows. So they are asking, when we go there, we don't know whether they will be receptive to us or not. So in case we meet those kind of situations, will you be there for us? He looked incredulous. He said, what? If you meet any kind of adversity like that, he said, I shall sleep. Why would you want to build a temple for this man? That's a devotee, I want you to understand. This is not coming from the intellect. But these seven sages went out without understanding what he said. Because when you sleep, you're one with everything. If you sleep consciously, you're 100% one with everything and consciously with everything. See, when you're awake, you are a person. When you sleep, you're just life. There's no limit actually. This is why we've been telling you, if you can cause that little awareness at that moment of going to sleep, from that moment of wakefulness to sleep, if you can be conscious, something phenomenal will happen. We've been telling you, but you've been sleeping. So he said, I shall sleep. He's not saying, I will be there, I will come and jump out of the sky and save you. Nothing, he says, I shall sleep. But the devotees don't care whether he will come, he will not come, he will do something, he will not do something. I'm saying there is no qualitative evaluation because they understand, because they know from their… it is not even understanding, they know from their innermost experience. Their devotion has transformed them in such a phenomenal way, they don't care if it comes or doesn't come. That's devotion. You cannot do this with your intellect. You cannot do something illogical with your intellect. You can do some lousy logic. What is that dirty little logic you can do? But you have to do some logic. Even the most illogical idiot has his own little logic, dirty little logic. But with your intellect, you cannot do something illogical because that's the nature of the intellect. So, belief is done on the level of your intellect. You are trying to make logic out of something where there is no logic. Everybody is looking up, heavenward. I'm saying this is increasing, I'm just saying. If you look at the old videos of 50s, 60s, where international football games, when people score a goal, they just jump in joy or shake hands, do something, they wouldn't hug each other because there were no deodorants at that time. But nobody looked up and praised the Lord. But today, almost everybody, or most of them, the moment they score a goal on the cricket matches, well, we have gone through this many times. The planet is round and it's spinning. You have no clue which is up. So definitely you have no clue what is up. Your goals are coming from there? No. It is just that you're trying to build confidence. So essentially, you build confidence, belief builds confidence. Confidence will not give you clarity. Confidence will give you a bull-headed approach to life. You can dose yourself through life. Sometimes it works, unfortunately. That is not the nature of devotion. Just see how a devotee stands. He's never confident, always like this. But believers, because you believe some nonsense, you made it up. A devotee has not made up anything. He's just softened himself in such a way that life happens in a way that logic can never do, an intelligence beyond the limitations of your logic. Anybody who's applied their intellect substantially, if you apply your intellect, within no time you will hit the limits of where it is. Most people have never applied intensely enough, so they think their stupid little, dirty little logic. Maybe we should publish this poem. I'm beginning to like it. This dirty little logic is limitless. So with this dirty little logic, it is your dirty little logic that right now where you live is not good. Your accommodations are not good. People that you live with are making you miserable. So with your dirty little logic, you created a better place up there. A devotee is not creating any place up there. He doesn't care whether he goes up or down. All he knows is his heart is overflowing with the sweetness of his own existence. Well, he may use a tool, he may use something to inspire him, but he is not making up things. So this is a fundamental difference between belief and devotion. It's like this. Legs are for walking, hands are for doing things. But if you train your hands very well, you make it very strong, you can walk on your hands. And there are people who are handicapped, somebody has lost their arms, They are doing all kinds of incredible things, artwork with their feet. Some are doing, it's fantastic. But are your legs designed to work and hands designed, arms designed to walk? It is not. Similarly, your intellect is designed to dissect, to look at things logically and decipher a few things for yourself, for your survival. Your emotion is not created or doesn't have the ability to decipher things. It knows only how to embrace something. If you want to know the sweetness of life, your emotion should flow. If you want to figure out a few things, your intellect should function. But now you're using your intellect like emotion, and emotion the only emotion most people know is stress, anxiety, resentment, anger. Once in a way, only on the Facebook, they feel some love. Because that's the safest place. That is the safest place for a love affair because you never have to encounter those people. So, let us understand this. Intellect is not designed to illogically make up something, it is designed to decipher life as it is, the physicality of it, the material of it, so that you can function efficiently. Emotion is not designed for that. Emotion is designed for you to experience life intensely. If you use it the other way around, you want to walk on your hands and work with your legs, all the best. It's like, this happened. Shankaran Pillai was walking in the Orly, what that? Orly, yeah? Sea face in Mumbai, post-lockdown. So the first ones, when the lockdown is released, the first ones that will come out are the criminals, the pickpockets, you know, because business is totally gone. So Shankaran Pillai also took a walk. So an armed thug pulled out a country-made pistol, put it to his head and said, "I'll blow your brains out, just give me the money." Shankaran Pillai said, in Mumbai, you can live without brains, but you can't live without money. You can blow as much as you want, you're not getting my money. Brains needed, intellect needed for something, other things needed for other things. Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadeva